There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
One of the things I really appreciate about our entire region is that we embrace who we are, and I think that's what unifies us. Once the timber and fishing industries collapsed, it took us a long time to get back on our feet. People didn't quite grasp the idea that once these jobs left, they weren't going to get other family wage jobs, and it crippled us.
Things were getting really dire. So we just saw that this was an opportunity to maybe look at that public land a little differently and how it could bring more dollars into our region.
The Wild Rivers Coast is so unique because there are more wild and scenic rivers here than anywhere else in the lower 48 states. The scenic beauty is just amazing. There's so many different places to go, from the national forest down to the protected ocean, and it's just a really special place.
I guess I didn't really know how special it was, though, until I moved away to Portland and came back and saw all the potential here.
We're uncrowded, we're unspoiled, and we're a little difficult to get to, but my God, once you come here, you fall in love.
We just thought if we could pull people to come into this Wild Rivers Coast and stay longer and explore a little farther into our backcountry, there was a lot of opportunities for them to experience.
I think our whole future is at stake here. This area is ready to go. We just need to give it a little kick in the butt.
I'm going to be honest, when the Rural Tourism Studio came here, I was skeptical because I didn't see far enough ahead that we actually could collaborate regionally, and I'm pleasantly surprised. It's been amazing.
The Rural Tourism Studios was the first time we were able to come together as a region to talk about the future of our economy.
If we can have a strong tourism economy in this area, it's going to benefit the whole community.
We have to rely on ourselves, and I think through this program, it's sort of opened our eyes to what we could do when we work together. Community leaders really focused on 3 areas: outdoor recreation, food, and agricultural tourism.
In 2 seconds.
The TV's not on, so I don't know when we're live or whatever.
Miranda, if you can hear us, that TV above that door is not on, that we usually go by. There it is.
You're live.
All right. So we're live and on and running, so I'm going to call to order. We'll stand for the pledge. And I'm going to say a quick prayer before we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning for a special meeting. And more than that, I just ask that you would help us to do this meeting decently and in order. And I just ask for your wisdom and guidance. And I just know that you want us to, you want the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts to be acceptable in your sight. And so that's what my prayer is. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
The Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Approval amendment of the agenda. So there's been an ask to have an executive session this morning. And I would like just one little quick add to the agenda, maybe to discuss the first meeting in July, date-wise, because of the way the 4th of July hits. And
The 3B?
sounds good. And then how about meeting time, an executive session regarding employee departure.
Yes.
So 3C, employee departure, executive session.
No, that would have to be,
Have to be,
under, it'd have to be 4, which would be executive session. I'm sorry.
Is that right, Anthony?
Yeah, that's correct. And I just want to point out this executive session will be under ORS 192.6602B.
Okay, I might call on you to read that out when it comes time. So I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. So at this time, I'm going to open up public hearing, 10:03 a.m. And it's a public hearing for a CDBG. Right on, I said it, CDBG. Community Block Grant, Development Grant, Small Business Micro Enterprise Grant, Summer Medicine. And then we have a lady from CCD.
Randy Medeiros.
Yeah, that's her, yeah. We just met and
Great to have you
already
here.
gone, so. Welcome, ladies.
Great to have you here.
Good morning, Commissioners. Summer Madison, Economic Development. The public notice will need to be read into the record, and we'll also be looking for approved minutes as soon as possible, just because we are trying to push all of these through so quick. All right, so this public hearing is for the CDBG Small Business Micro Enterprise Grant. Would you like me to read the notice in the record?
She would, I think, yes.
She would, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Would you like me to do that?
sure.
Okay.
Anybody but me.
Curry County is eligible to apply for a 2020 Community Development Block Grant from Business Oregon, Community Development Block Grant funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Emergency Small Business and Micro Enterprise Assistance Grant to COVID-19 Impact Assistance Program. The focus of this funding is to prepare, and respond to the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. The state expects to receive approximately $13 million in new federal funds during 2021 for grants to non-entitlement cities and counties for eligible projects. The maximum grant that a city or a county can receive under the COVID-19 Impact Assistance Program for Emergency Small Business and Micro Enterprise Assistance is $500,000. Curry County is preparing an application for a 2022 Community Development Block CV grant from Business Oregon for funding in response to the economic impact of the pandemic by providing assistance to low and moderate income households impacted by COVID-19. The maximum grant that a city or county can receive under the COVID-19 Impact Assistance Program for Emergency Small Business and Micro Enterprise Assistance Grant and COVID Impact Assistance Program activities is $500,000. Curry County is preparing an application for a 2022 Community Development Block Grant from Business Oregon for Emergency Small Business and Micro Enterprise Assistance Grant and COVID-19 Impact Assistance for low to moderate income families that would serve small businesses in Curry County. And Curry County will be partnering with CCD Business Development Corp. For implementation of this project if approved. It is estimated that the proposed project will benefit up to 900 small businesses.
Wow. That's it? Are you?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Just says public hearing at the bottom. Do you need that on the record as well, Brandy? Yep. Public hearing will be held by the Curry County Board of Commissioners at 10 a.m. on June 15, 2022 at 94235 Moore Street, Gold Beach, Oregon, 97444, Suite 122. The purpose of this hearing is for the Board of Commissioners to obtain citizen reviews and to respond to questions and comments about economic development and small business needs, especially the needs of low and moderate income persons, as well as other needs in the community that might be assisted with a community development block grant project and the proposed project.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you, Summer.
Summer.
Do we have just a second, Court. Do we do public comments and then vote?
Well, I think you want to speak
You
too,
want-
right?
No, I don't.
No,
we
no,
don't
no,
mind.
please
This is-
do. This is Brandy Medeiros, and she is our most immediate liaison to all of the work that we're doing with CCD right now relative to economic development. And you'll probably be familiar with Brandy because she is here in rotation with the CCD staff in the building so that we can provide more lift to small business economic development. So come on up, Brandy.
Stay up there if you
Stay
can.
close.
Yeah, stay close. Thank you. Read my mind.
Good morning. I just wanted to thank you for having me here today. My name is Brandy Medeiros. I am the Community Development Director for CCD Business Development. I'm new to my role, but I've been with CCD for 10 years, working with community and economic development. So the purpose of this hearing today was to take public comment on the proposed project for small business and micro enterprise businesses through the CDBG program or the COVID-19 funds. It's a special funding pot for CDBG. It's not normal, so it's got a lot of rules. CDBG is federal funds, so there's a lot of strings attached. CCD has successfully deployed 4 rounds of this type of funding throughout the region, and our region is Coos, Curry, and Douglas counties. Eligible businesses throughout Curry County would include small businesses that employ low to moderate income workers or micro enterprises that the owners themselves are low to moderate income. So thank you again for having me. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I have none.
Okay.
So, hey,
Yeah.
you're taking Tracy's
I am.
spot.
She was
That's
my
tough
boss.
duty. She was incredible.
I love
But
her.
so far, so good. We're very happy, and thanks for making the drive down from
Thank you.
Roseburg. It's quite noteworthy. Just a couple of things. By the way, Tracy helped us with the Head Start grant, $1.6 million. And Brookings, that was ultimately a huge success. And that was a struggle to get that, to salvage that, and it ended up in very good condition. Economic Development Madison, you mentioned, coordinator, you mentioned 900 businesses. And so we have to compete. And for that, what did you say, 11 million total? It's available through the state?
13.
13, excuse me. So the public hearing was designed to get the word out, and then there's other means that you've already put in place to let our small businesses know what's available and how to qualify, et cetera.
There will be a marketing, so part of the program and the policies and procedures that CCD has in place for the previous rounds include a marketing. We would correspond with the county, let you know, make sure that you're involved. You can spread the word to your constituents as well. Sorry.
That is a tough word.
Hey, you could be a commissioner.
Yeah. And I think the 900 businesses in Curry County is a little bit of a far stretch. We're seeing more between, because the grant awards vary depending on the need, the gap. Federal HUD funds is gap funding. It is like a last resort. So these businesses have to show a need, an effect from the pandemic. And the CDBG dollars can come in and cover that gap. So awards can range anywhere from $2,500 up to, I think the biggest one we saw was like $25,000 for a small business.
I showed 10.
Is it 10?
Just for Curry.
For the last time.
Yeah.
And that can be set differently. There's no cap per CDBG. They don't cap it. They just want it to be reasonable, and it needs to show, the business has to show the need. So I would estimate that your businesses locally would be more between the 20 and 50 you're going to see.
Okay. Terrific. So, Ms. Madison, do you have some other means to let the public know and how we can help them? And I'm sure you're way ahead on that.
So that's a really great question. Technically, I'm not, it's not part of policy to apply on behalf of the county for a grant like this without first getting the blessing of the board. And so that's what today is. But with that, we didn't want to waste any more time because we knew the longer we delayed, the less likely it was that we would be awarded or have the opportunity to be considered for funding. So Brian Sykes went ahead and submitted a pre-app due diligence that we have every expectation that we will be applying under the conditions that the public hearing is supported by the commissioners. So that's what today is.
Okay.
And after that pre-app's in, it was accepted. This is a large collaboration between Housing and Urban Development, Small Business Oregon, CCD, CDBG, like everybody's kind of involved in this. So we're really excited to see this executed, as well as the city of Roseburg. And so if you'd like me to just share with you the opportunity that was articulated in the pre-app, I think that might help fill some gaps in understanding the scope of this funding. And so, yeah, we do have every intention of providing marketing services and promotions like we did last time, but not until we're in a position to offer that and know exactly what we have to offer. So Curry County would like to offer our small businesses, micro enterprises, another round of SBMA assistance through the CDBG program. This area's businesses has been significantly impacted by closures, supply chain interruption, workforce interruption, and reduced public foot traffic due to coronavirus during the last 2 years, and they are still finding the best ways forward to make themselves whole after the economic turbulence experienced in the past 2 years.
While you're looking there, next time, when Brian comes next week, I'm going to buy him pizza and we'll do an IOU to you, okay?
So the Curry County will be asking CCD to develop the SBMA program and be the grant administrator for these funds. And we're confident that with CCD's background in both small business loans and grant administration, they can properly disperse the funding to our small businesses and micro enterprises. And we'd like to create and maintain as many low and moderate income jobs as possible. And this CDBG program is an opportunity that we do not want to see pass us by. And one of the things that I highlighted just quickly in this that I am really excited to see come from this is consumer confidence. And one of those things that that we learned from COVID was that technical assistance through the program that we have rolled out through CCD is helping our small businesses acclimate with things like e-commerce and updating antiquated POS systems and being established through Google for business online so that we can help retain consumer confidence and elevate that foot traffic and help them to create a nice balance in that. So do you have any questions?
I don't.
Ready to make a motion? When you are, Mr. Chair.
Well, do we do a motion before public comments?
No, we do the public comments first.
Yeah,
and then,
so
motion.
public
Thank you.
comments, we have a member of the public. Is there a comment? So hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board accept and pursue the Community Development Block Grant, Small Business Micro Enterprise Grants through Coos Creek Douglas Business Development and Curry County Economic Development.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say yes.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, ladies. So you can stick around and listen to us talk about, just for a second, July, first meeting in July is scheduled for the 6th. We run into a little bit of a timing thing with the 4th of July falling on Monday the 4th. The 4th of July falls on the 4th, on Monday. So we can have everything in by Friday the 1st, or we could move it to the 7th, which is a Thursday. What is your guys's, and we don't have to decide it today, but just, we can talk about it and then decide on the 22nd next Wednesday. So
If we, Mr. Chair, if we move, if I may?
Yeah.
If we move to the 13th, then we would have just one meeting that month, and I think it would be a heavy agenda program for that day, but I think we could do that. And it would be more of a normal routine for that week.
The only problem with that is that I won't be here on the 13th. Didn't realize that we were going to have a timing schedule, and I got kids and grandkids coming in from Texas. So, you guys can have a meeting without me. I can't even say I can zoom in because I think we're going to be at great grandparents and.
If you got your grandkids, who's gonna argue with that?
Yeah. So that's the only thing. The 13th doesn't work for me. Chris.
Well, I was wondering if we could just make everything, leave it on the 6th and just have everything submitted by Friday,
Yeah.
the 1st, and that way there, that would give public notice, everything enough time, and JJ would have enough time, and you as chair would have enough time to make sure that the meeting is, the schedule and
Yeah.
all that is done properly.
So Friday morning, 9 o'clock, I assume, because he's going to need Friday and Tuesday. I would assume.
JJ, what do you think? Friday.
Going to be a big agenda, I think, likely.
Oh, we publish on. We have to publish by 9 a.m. on Tuesday if the meeting's on Wednesday.
Yep.
So if everything is in on Friday, and 9 a.m. on Friday would be nice, but most people don't comply with 9:00:00:00. So perhaps noon would be a
Noon
better
or
time.
2 o'clock? Would 2 o'clock work, or is that?
Oh,
not-
yeah, 2 o'clock would work. But the whole thing is at some point in time, we have to cut it off,
Yeah.
and
So just Tuesday, 9 o'clock doesn't give him a lot of time. So
Right.
I would prefer then, Mr. Chair, if it's not 9 o'clock Friday morning, it would be noon on Friday.
Noon or 2, I'm thinking, yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll send out lots of emails, JJ will, to remind people that that's what's going to happen. So nobody can say, I didn't hear.
So we're scheduled for the 6th and the 20th.
Yep.
Okay?
Summer?
Do you want me to produce an order if necessary for that last motion? Okay, so I'll be able to get that to you later this evening if that's okay.
Yep,
And do you all plan to be here tomorrow?
Well, I will be in the afternoon, yes. I got a meeting in the morning, but yep.
I'll see you
To sign.
Truly.
Yep. Thank you. So are we in favor of
Friday
regular
morning, Friday at noon. Yeah.
Friday's,
We
Okay.
don't need a motion on that, do we?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to go into executive session. I'll let Anthony say what we're going to do. And
For 1926602B, you said?
Yep, that's the one.
job. So Miranda, thank you.
Is Alaska. On the south side of the bay is the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Share waters beneath the ocean with sharks and rays. And don't miss the sea otters at mealtime.
Now, all 4 of our otters were rescued otters. They were found out in the wild.
For the next 50 miles, your trip along Highway 101 hugs the coast. Many more state parks offer opportunities to stop and take in outstanding vistas, crashing waves, and offshore rock formations. 2 small towns of note are Waldport and Yachats. Waldport sits on Alsea Bay, where fishing, clamming, and crabbing are popular. The 40-mile stretch south of Waldport marks steep headlands, jagged volcanic outcrops, and jaw-dropping scenery, the rugged edge of the Oregon coast. Yachats is a quiet, unhurried artist town just a couple of miles north of Cape Perpetua. Drive to the top of this bluff, and you'll be 800 feet above the water. On a clear day, you can see 70 miles of Oregon coastline. Drive past Heceta Head Lighthouse to the Sea Lion Caves. A quick elevator ride 200 feet down puts you in America's largest sea cave, the year-round home of wild stellar sea lions. Rugged cliffs give way to graceful beaches as you approach Florence. In the spring, be on the lookout for wild rhododendrons along the roadsides. Similar to Newport, you'll find an historic Old Town commercial district along the Siuslaw River. Florence is the gateway to the Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area, a 47-mile sandbox of wind-sculpted sand dunes towering 500 feet above sea level. These are the largest expanse of coastal sand dunes in North America. Reedsport is at the center of the Oregon Dunes, but you can do more than ride a dune buggy or motorcycle. A short 3 miles east of town on Highway 38, more than 100 Roosevelt elk reside at the Dean Creek Elk Viewing Area. Early mornings or just before dusk are the best times to photograph the herd. Paying homage to Oregon's timber heritage, Reedsport hosts an annual Chainsaw Sculpting Championship, a time to watch 3-dimensional artwork come to life right before your eyes. Mountains of sand continue at Winchester Bay. You'll also find an active marina here. It's a great place to try your hand at crabbing or take a charter for salmon or bottom fishing. The dunes end and you enter the coast's largest urban area at Coos Bay. It has the deepest natural harbor between Seattle and San Francisco, Foreign vessels sail under the massive McCullough Bridge. You may have noticed, dotted along the Pacific Coast Scenic Byway are many beautiful and iconic bridges. The Megler Bridge in Astoria, Yaquina Bay Bridge in Newport, Halsey Bay Bridge in Waldport, Siuslaw River Bridge in Florence, and the magnificent McCullough Bridge in Coos Bay are works of art in their own right. Charleston is slightly off the byway at the mouth of the bay. It was once an old waterfront fishing village and has become a commercial and sport fishing center. From here, the Charleston to Bandon tour route offers another side trip off the byway. It's a wonderful way to explore a variety of natural Pacific Coast beauty in a number of settings: beaches, vistas, gardens, and more. Giant sea stacks, a tiny lighthouse, and an old town await you in Bandon. Do you like to golf? This remote area on the Oregon coast has not one, but 3 of the most stunning and challenging golf courses in the world. As you drive south of town, look for brilliant red bogs in the fall. You're passing through the cranberry capital of Oregon. After a trek through forests and farmlands, you'll reach Port Orford. The wild coast has begun. You're in the most westerly city in the continental United States, and you've reached some of the most awesome scenery on the byway. Here you can watch a fishing fleet launched by crane in one of only 6 dolly ports in the world. Port Orford covers less than 2 square miles. It's similar to many communities that call this all-American road home. Small in size, still with a lot to offer. Like Manzanita, with a vibrant business district and beautiful setting at the base of Neahkahnie Mountain. You can board a fishing charter out of Garibaldi, swim in freshwater lakes near Dune City, catch world-class windsurfing at Pistol River. There is little development from Port Orford to Gold Beach, outlet for the renowned Rogue River. Feel like going for a ride? Jet boat excursions run from May into October up this wild and scenic river. Or maybe a midday walk on an uncrowded beach is more your speed. The last dozen miles of the Pacific Coast Byway leading into Brookings save some of the best for last. Treat yourself to frequent stops along the Samuel H. Boardman Scenic Corridor. Short hikes reward you with the best views in this shining stretch of coastline. Walk, relax, and be amazed along the coves in the crashing surf. The world's northernmost redwood grove is 8 miles from the mouth of the Chetco River in Brookings. So, you've toured nature's finest art museum. You've dined elegantly, hung out with sea lions, unwound like you wish you could every day. What else is there to do? Step back in history near Astoria. Ride a horse along the waves near Florence. Pet a baby tiger near Bandon. Hike a trail, sample gourmet cheese, eat fresh-caught crab, watch a sunset.
When you come to the Oregon coast and walk on the beaches or go to the headlands and go to the small coastal towns, you really can commune with nature, and you don't have huge numbers of people, but you're also able to take in one of America's last great unspoiled seascapes.
So what draws you to the Oregon coast? What favorite places lure you back again and again? Each visit is different. The ocean, the sky, the light, and the experience always continue to amaze. Shouldn't you be there?
There's something about having land and sea. Never having to choose between digging in or looking out. Here, you can go where the spirit or the wind moves you. To the tops of the trees, along secluded beaches, or into more wild and scenic rivers than anywhere else in the western United States. We're the closest place to the sunset, while still keeping your feet dry, and a destination where anyone can begin. We share more than we keep, so you can see more than you imagined. This is a place you have to touch, hold, and feel to believe. The entire shoreline of the West Coast's best coast is open to you, and playgrounds made of forests are waiting for you. Escape to Curry County and don't leave anything out.
Roadway departure fatalities are a serious and often preventable problem in the United States. The Federal Highway Administration reports that 54% of all highway fatalities are caused by drivers leaving their lane of travel. The Oregon Department of Transportation is taking a proactive approach to reduce this kind of tragedy by implementing a centerline and shoulder rumble strip program.
Rumble strips are one of the most low-cost, cost-effective countermeasures that we can apply across the system.
Rumble strips are grooved patterns on the roadway that make a rumbling sound and a physical vibration, immediately warning inattentive drivers that they're leaving their driving lane. Rumble strips allow drivers to self-correct and avoid an accident.
About 67% of fatal crashes in Oregon are road departure crashes, which are a vehicle can leave the lane to the right and hit a ditch or a rock or a tree, something like that, or cross over the center line to the left and get in a head-on collision or a sideswipe meeting type crash.
Over an 8-year period, ODOT engineers studied segments of 16 different highways and concluded that rumble strips are highly effective at reducing lane departures.
We did a before and after crash analysis to find that we have reduced head-on fatalities by 40% with the installation of centerline rumble strips.
We've been trying to find a way to deal with a problem that seems to be increasing over the last 10 or 15 years with our drivers, and that's distracted driving. And there's a lot of things that cause distracted driving. All these distractions are things that make people take their attention away from where it should be.
Comparisons between other available safety features like guardrail and concrete barriers show that shoulder and centerline rumble strips are the most cost-effective safety treatment available.
We're finding that those are very effective in trying to make sure that when you do make that mistake, it's not the last mistake you make. They help bring your attention back to the driving task and bring you back to where you should be, focusing on being in the middle of your lane and being safe.
ODOT makes a conscious effort to use a bike-friendly rumble strip design where possible and installs 12-foot bike gaps every 48 feet of rumble strip. ODOT understands that rumble strips create a noise that can be disruptive for people who live near rural highways, and we're trying to address these concerns with different approaches.
For the noise, we're looking at some new designs. We're hoping that the new design rumble strip will be just as effective at saving people from making an error and much quieter, on the order of 10 times as quiet. And we're actually going to be installing our first full set of these style of rumble strips along 205 this summer.
So we recognize that noise is a concern, but one of the things I like to tell people is whenever you hear the sound of a rumble strip, it could be the sound of the life being saved of one of your loved ones.
Rumble strips are proven to save lives. The Oregon Department of Transportation is taking the lead in implementing the sound of safety.
Hi there, I'm Patrick Priest, Executive Director at CIS. And I really enjoy coming every year to this conference because CIS, we are all about counties. We are owned by counties. We were formed by the AOC. This is a great occasion for us to meet everybody in one place and learn what's important to the counties all across Oregon.
It's the networking. I mean, we learn a lot about the different issues that counties deal with, but it's networking with other commissioners, getting ideas on how they handle situations that is the most helpful for me.
I love my job. It actually matters to me on a daily basis. I used to do a lot of charity, and, you know, in commissioning in Deschutes County, you can make a serious difference. Lots of things have happened since I've been in office, and I feel like it's important to represent the people. I grew up in Eastern Oregon, and I love the residents of Eastern Oregon. The architect of our first house actually had Doris Day as a dear friend and a client, and he would bring Doris Day up the mountains in Malibu to our house as it was being built.
This is my 4th conference at AOC. My favorite part is the fellowship with other commissioners and coming up with solutions with common situations and with commissioners from around the state to best serve our people. My favorite part about being a commissioner in Josephine County is the people that we work with. We live in the most beautiful place, but we have the most beautiful people. They are talented, artistic, caring. We have such a high level of philanthropy and just caring for our fellow citizens, and it's the best place in all of Oregon.
Hi, I'm Commissioner Martha Schrader from Clackamas County, Oregon. I'm the current president of the Association of Oregon Counties. Oh my goodness, I've been president for 1 year, but I've been a member of the Association of Oregon Counties since 2003. So one of the reasons I really wanted to be president, and I've enjoyed it so much, is because I get to know everybody across the state, all the commissioners, and I've been from one end of the state to the other, visiting with them, talking with them, and really getting an idea of how we differ, but more importantly, what our similarities are and what we can do with one another to move forward with good county government.
I've been coming to AOC now for 4 years. My favorite part of serving as commissioner is trying to bring positive effects for our community and our county.
This is my 2nd year at AOC, and the camaraderie that I've found in my Eastern Oregon partners and just the camaraderie of AOC has really blessed my life.
My name is Court Boyce, Curry County Commissioner. This is a collection of people, county commissioners, public officials, well attended from all over the state. You know, I have the privilege of working with a very diverse group of people, different ages, different backgrounds, different interests, but they're all teaming up to solve the problems of our county. And it's just really a pleasure to be able to be connected with and working with those people. And better days, good days ahead for our county and our citizens.
Hi, I'm Joe Dabulskis. This is my 3rd AOC convention, and my favorite part is the networking with the people. And the breakout sessions are kind of good because it gives me something to focus on, a goal where I want the county to be in 5 years when my term is up.
Hi, I'm Tillamook County Commissioner Dave Yamamoto. Our county college class was probably was the best county college class ever at AOC. It was the largest at over 33 members. When you look at the legislature and the power that the major metropolitan areas have, the rural counties are oftentimes left out of those conversations. AOC really does a terrific job of representing rural counties and rural interests, and we wouldn't have the impact that we do in Oregon without AOC.
My name is Joe Burney, Lane County Commissioner from Springfield. My favorite part is eating good food. My second favorite part is meeting with other commissioners, seeing what they're thinking, comparing solutions to problems, learning how nonpartisan solutions really are, and getting ideas.
Yes. Hi, my name is Derek DeGroot, Klamath County Commissioner. So I'm running for second vice president of the Association of Oregon Counties. I believe that our association is perfectly poised to solve problems and bring solutions to Oregon politics and communicate with the legislature about the diversity of Oregon.
I'm Jay Bozovich, and I'm a Lane County Commissioner. And so I've been a commissioner for about 8 years and 11 months. And my favorite part about being a commissioner is this job is different every day.
Hi, my name is Alex Tardif, and I'm a commissioner for Columbia County and currently serving as AOC treasurer in my 2nd year. And the thing I enjoy most about AOC and being the treasurer is the ability to bring 36 counties together to build a state vision to move our state forward into the future while building a livable, workable community that we all want to enjoy.
Sign that doesn't have a rider on it, so we take our first test at the closest speed limit of.
Bob Weeks and Harley Bills are seeing more than their share of curvy roads these days. Their job is to drive every stretch of four-way in Region 1 several times. All this driving back and forth.
The old limits were set back in the 1930s and 40s and were changed very little until just recently. So now our limits are taking into account newer vehicles, a little bit more aggressive driving style, and so those limits are going up.
And going up in a big way. This is Eric Leeming, a traffic devices engineer with ODOT. He's driving an ordinary car with some extraordinary tech on board, a GPS device that records data as he maneuvers every curve in the road. Back at his office, Eric can upload the data recorded in the car, and special software determines exactly the right speed for every curve, every time. Most speeds will increase by 5 to 10 miles per hour, but in some special cases, it's much higher.
The state has a deadline of 2019 from the Federal Highway Administration, but with 8,000 miles of roads to investigate and potentially thousands of signs to change, they're not wasting any time. They're getting out there right now.
Then we're going to the W113.
About 800 signs along this section.
That's a lot of signs.
It's a lot of signs. If it's a 35-mile-an-hour corner, you should be taking it at 35 miles an hour.
Why do counties matter? Simple. Counties provide the services we all depend on. If you're concerned about crime, get a regular flu shot. Drive to work. Take public transportation. Or experience a natural disaster in your community. Chances are you benefit from county services. That's why counties matter. With America's system of federalism, counties are a key level of government, serving the people directly. So, do you vote? Had a recent hospital stay? Know someone in a nursing home? More reasons why counties matter. There are 3,069 counties across the country, with populations big and small. Most of us live and work in one. Even the nation's capital is considered a county. These county governments ensure that the food you eat in restaurants is safe. They care for the mentally ill, run court systems, build local economies, and operate 911 emergency systems. They manage parks and recreation facilities. And the list goes on. Thing is, counties serve the American people in so many ways, keeping our communities healthy, vibrant, safe, and fiscally sound. That's why counties matter.
Well, we're here with Commissioner Colleen Roberts for the monthly meeting of the ONC board, which Colleen sits on. Colleen, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about your mission and what you guys discuss at these monthly meetings?
Sure. Well, our ONC board is of the 18 counties in Oregon that have the ONC lands on their BLM federal lands. And we discuss everything about these lands. The ONC Act of 1937 is our primary focus, how the decisions that these lands get managed, do they match up with the congressional mandate of the ONC Act, and how we can better educate and help administer the care of these lands for the health and safety and welfare of the citizens that we represent.
I would imagine you discuss things like how many board feet can be taken out of the forest in different areas. Are these things that come up each month?
Yes, well, harvest timber management is a big part of our conversation, as is lately the fire issues.
We're here today with Commissioner Dan DeYoung of Josephine County. Dan, you have an important role on the ONC Lands Board, and we're here in beautiful Gold Beach, Oregon, discussing the monthly matters of ONC. What was your main focus at this meeting?
Today we had a really good sit down with two representatives from the BLM. And we work with BLM because actually the ONC lands are on BLM lands, and that's our concern. Mainly the ONC Board of Directors, which is a membership from all 18 counties. We always meet, I think it's bi-monthly, and then we have an annual meeting. And it's basically to discuss what the sign says, forest health, jobs, and county services. That the money coming from the sale of timber on ONC lands goes through the federal government. They take their share out of it and then return it back to the counties to be used for basically jobs, county services. A lot of county services, such as law enforcement, schools. There's just an awful lot of things that these individual counties can use the money for. But it's from the sale of timber on the ONC lands. ONC lands goes way back to 1937 with the ONC 1937 ONC Congressional Act and the ONC Act of 1937. We're just trying to get back to the actual verbiage and the language that's in that act. It's surprising to us how we can ignore a congressional act. That remains to be answered by the federal government. But that's what we want to get back to.
Hi there. I'm Tillamook County Commissioner Dave Yamamoto. I'm a member of the ONC Board and also the chair of the Council of Forest Trust Land Counties. And in Tillamook County, it's very important that we consider natural resource-based economies. So in Tillamook County, we have lots of dairy. I'm sure you're familiar with Tillamook Creamery, but also lots of state and federal timberlands. When it comes to federal timberlands in particular, everyone thinks that we're looking at timber revenue, and that's very important. But one side of the coin that people don't consider are the family wage jobs that come with all timber. It's not just the timber receipts that we get. These are family wage jobs. These are fully benefited jobs. Whereas on the tourism side, the income is about a third of what we would consider a family wage job, and there are also no benefits with those. So timber receipts are very important, but it's the family wage jobs that they create at the same time, which are very important to counties like Tillamook.
Perfect. Keeping it real for families in Tillamook County.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Yamamoto.
Thank you very much.
All right. We are here with County Commissioner Bob Main from Coos County, Oregon. And we've had the monthly meeting of ONC lands here. And Mr. Main, Commissioner Main, I should say, tell us what your role is, Bob, on the ONC Lands Board.
I am the Vice President of the ONC Association of Oregon Sea Counties.
Okay.
Consists of 18 ONC counties, Western Oregon counties.
Okay.
And we make sure that the counties receive their payments from those ONC lands that Congress designated for the sole purpose of those 18 ONC counties. For no other reason, Congress decided that when they took back the lands and took them off the tax roll, that the county should benefit from the harvest of those lands. Without that, the tax rates, like in my county, would be 2 to 3 times higher.
Oh, okay. So you help keep the tax rates down in your county by utilizing the full function of this congressional act.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are here with Oregon Curry County Commissioner Court Boyce. Thank you so much for taking a moment to speak with us.
Well, thank you. With the natural resource base that this state has, I've spent or spending better than half of my time as a county commissioner on those issues: fire management, public lands management, certainly natural resources, all of those. And so I'm often reminded that 250 years ago, the generations that came before us, when they got here to Oregon, include Northern California, they found the greatest forest in all of North America, that produce the greatest watersheds, that produce the most pristine rivers, that give us the most, the highest quality of salmon.
Well, it'd be nice when we finally get good stuff in here.
What are you doing at Lobster Creek?
Oh, I got a cabin that was. You're on. Good morning and welcome back. We have had executive session and the directed staff as to work as directed, and now I look for a motion to adjourn this meeting. I'll adjourn this meeting by saying this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, folks. Bye. Adjourned. Adjourned.
I love walking. It's what I do. So who better to share some tips to help keep your walk safe?